Hi, Renee.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah. Y'all look
Hi.
so beautiful. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you.
That is
Um,
a great way to start an
That is the
interview.
best
Let me
way.
tell
Why
you.
doesn't
Yeah,
everyone
I mean,
start that
honestly,
way?
good work. Could you do a
just being
masterclass?
honest. I'm a big fan, so I'm really
That's
excited.
home training. That's home training, just saying.
I'll let my mom know.
Yeah.
But I'm big fans of both of y'all before the show and now. So my first question, I'm here for Pride.com, and the show has a lot of gay fans. My first question is kind of general, but like, why do you think that is? As I
Good
think it's
taste is what it is.
Ah, yes.
Good taste.
That's right.
They don't suffer fools. They like great. They like
Love
honesty.
fabulous things.
Fabulous things.
Yeah.
This is
Heart, humor.
heart and humor and great clothes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I just think, this is an underdog story. This is a story of people that, I think are incredibly deserving. And I think, they came up in a time where maybe people, or actually are living in a time now where people are telling them that they shouldn't have something that they are worthy of. And I think, my hope is that that is resonant and kind of inspirational to every group of people that are watching it. Any group of people that have ever been told
Yeah. Told no.
no,
Yeah.
should be able to recognize, themselves in this story and hopefully root for us.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it also has to do with like that joke about Nicole Kidman's Undoing collection. Cause
Oh
I,
my God. I think that's I also think it's I probably should have said that. The intelligence, I think, of the writing, and the fact that the writing is aware of so much and the humor is so fast and biting. I think,
And contemporary.
And contemporary.
They really pour over what's happening, and it seems so effortless.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and these characters are so silly, which is like Sarah. I know you from. I've been listening to your music since high school, and Renee. We know. Most people know you from Hamilton. So these characters are very silly and very different than what people know you for. Has that been fun to play around with?
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Yeah.
who doesn't want permission to like play dress up in another way, shape, or form? Like
Yeah.
it's such a gift to get to explore a different side of myself. I'll speak for myself, but I know we're all thinking that same thing. These roles are just like tailor made for this moment in our lives, getting to kind of embrace the conflicts of our storylines. This is my character, for example, is really in the conflict of trying to balance home and her ambition, and that is so deeply relatable to me. And especially right now in my life, I'm 42. I'm thinking about a family, and I got a dog, and now I'm like Dawn's really going through it, and I really find the ways where we're similar, and telling that story is really meaningful to me. But the writers did such a beautiful job at crafting those moments for each of us.
Yeah, I think there are ways in which Wiki is very different from me, and there are ways where she's very similar. There are some style moments that I've learned to try to oh God, you could take some more risks, girl. Like there's that in there. There is a kind of self-absorbed nature to her that I understand in my own life, but in those kind of impulses I swallow a little better. But yeah, I've loved to. I just love the fact that people think it's something new for me to be kind of funny and silly. And I think most people that know me well they're always like, oh my God, I'm so glad the world knows that you are so stupid. You are so crazy. I'm so glad the world knows that all this, a toast to the, is not, I'm so glad the world sees that other side of you.
It does feel very natural. So,
It does feel very.
so Sarah, you've had a lot of gay fans for a long time. I was listening to Brave right around the time when I was coming out. What has that relationship with LGBTQ folks meant to you over the years?
Oh, everything. So my roots going back into my first days of community theater, I was a kid who got bullied in school, and the first place I felt truly seen and safe was in my community theater productions. And a lot of my friends and my mom's friends were gay. And so that was my community of like misfit toys. We were all like, this is a place we really feel like I said, seen and heard and safe. And so that always carried with me as a very sacred relationship. And then when I was first coming out with music in my early college days, I had 2 different lesbian films feature Gravity. So then Gravity became like this little song that was having this life of its own. And then, you know, it's always been, you know, things I've watched my very close friends go through. That Brave came from writing a love letter to a friend of mine who was struggling with coming out. And for me, it's just a joy. You know, this community to me represents and a way to embrace authenticity even when it's hard. It's that it's not always the easy path to speak your truth, and it's so commendable and so courageous to do so. And so I love to give back and shine a light on that with love in every way I can. And so yeah, they're not getting rid of me.
We don't want to.
No, I don't want to.
Renee, what has it meant to you just to be a part of this comedy led by 4 women, which is still not that common?
Yeah, I'm grateful. I learned maybe a couple years ago on a very big birthday that the way I was going to make it through the rest of this journey was with really brave, crazy women. So I get to spend, you know, maybe 3 months a year so far with them. Hopefully we'll get to do it again a couple more times. I just love, I love the diversity. I think sometimes find that it's easy in life to make everybody one thing. If you're all black, if you're all a woman, if you're all of a certain age, if you're all gay, whatever it is, they're just forcing sameness down our throat. And within our communities, we are so different. And I love the fact that this is a show of 4 women in the same basic age. And we are not the same. You know what I mean? We are just not the same. And there's, you know, I mean, we can all be in a scene together. And we are totally different from each other, all worthy of being rooted for and loving, and we're making mistakes, we're all doing crazy things, but we are different, and we all have a lead voice, and it's just like so, it's just so controversial, and it shouldn't be. Yeah. But it's affirming to me, and I'm just grateful that I'm a part of it, and even if I wasn't a part of it, I'm grateful that it's in the world.
The show has a lot of gay fans. My first question is very general. Why do you think that is? Why do you think the show has so many gay fans?
Well, I'm going to let my gay friend take the lead.
I mean, I would like to think that I've led the sheep over to the show with my little Boles outfit on, my little Bo Peep lesbian outfit.
No, I like Little Boles.
Little
You nailed
Boles.
it the first time.
However, I do know that it has so many things that I think the gays, all the gays love, which is, you know, hilarity, heart, struggle, fantastic costumes, fantastic, hilarious music, hot ladies, and earthy, wise matrons. I've never known any gay man in my life that didn't love a wise matron. I was like 20 years old and I had a gaggle of gay men always around me, surrounded like little Snow White animals, asking me to give them some wisdom. So that's what I think.
Interestingly, I'm gonna piggyback on what you said and just say, also just like, we're some broads, you know, we're like broad.
We are broads.
Like, we're Bette Midler, like, come on in to the bathhouse and like, we're gonna sing for you.
Yeah.
And like, maybe show our tits.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like that's the kind of energy we're bringing.
We're gonna give some good décolletage.
Sure.
For the aesthetics and the fun of the costumes, but we're not going to take them fully out.
Yeah.
So a lot of gays enjoy
it's
that.
Like, it's camp.
Keep them in. You can keep them in. We're good. We saw what we wanted to see, right? We got it.
But it's also like it's camp, but with heart and like grounded, and it's wish fulfillment for all of us, and it's wish fulfillment for anyone who's like has a life they like dream, right?
Yeah.
That you're like, where is, and it's not, you know.
I would like to think that there's also a theme finally finishing answering your question for 7 minutes, is that there is a theme of finding your true self and speaking it and being it and not being afraid, truth, and then looking back on how you compromised your life by not saying, I don't give a fuck if any one of you like or dislike this. It's not about that. It's about me living my life. I have a right to do that. So
I love that. That was the best 5-minute answer ever. These characters are so silly. What has it meant to you to lead this comedy as 4 women? You know, that still is very uncommon.
Yes.
It's so insane. Why is it? It's so lame that it's uncommon. I know. It sucks. For me, I only basically want to work with women / any gay people, anyone non-binary. I have a hard time with men, just period. Straight, cis, specifically white men. Sorry. I don't know. It's just, your time's over. It's done. Time's up.
Wait in the lobby. Hashtag wait in the lobby.
No, but so for me, it's been such a joy, especially because I spent the majority of my very long career thus far, working surrounded by men in comedy and trying to literally find my own voice and my own way of existing within that, and being told, for years, lots of different horrible, misogynistic, ridiculous things that are insane. And I think that it's such a relief to have, Tina at the helm and Meredith show running, and, all of the directors that we have that come, Kimmy and, all the...
And wonderful evolved men like Jeff Richmond,
Jeff Richmond, yes, of
people
course,
that are part of the gang.
Yeah, but to be able to work with you ladies and to have that, to not have to deal with some dude who has to make it all about some other thing just because he's embarrassed that he's an actor. It's sir, it's enough. You know what I mean? But that's we have none of that on set.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
It's a first for me.
Yeah.
I love that.
I also love that my wife, my very beloved wife, plays my ex in it, and I get to make out with her on camera. It's always fun.
It's always fun. Current love interest on the show.
That's right. Janine Brito, a real golden human.
She's the best.
I love that. I wish I could talk to y'all more, but I think I'm out of time already. But this was so fun. Thank you for chatting with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Nice to talk with you.
I'll take you back to the show.
And the show has a lot of gay fans, and I think it's because y'all make jokes about the coat from Nicole Kidman's Undoing collection. I imagine it's very gay behind the scenes and in the writer's room. I was wondering what that looked like.
Yeah, I mean, our writing staff, we definitely have a very queer friendly, and also some of our writers are gay, and so. And, yeah, we just, I don't know, and we when it comes to Gloria's character, it's really nice to bring in a lot of real life personal stories, kind of get in through her character, because she sort of had a late in life kind of coming out. Mm-hmm. And so we like to kind of champion her, trying to really, live her girl group life now as an out queer woman. So
yeah, I enjoy all the Gloria stuff this season. Is really her coming up and re-exploring what's that finally like for her. I think is really enjoyable.
Yeah, I noticed the death drop in the episode 1, but is there anything love interest wise that's coming up that we can look forward to, or plotline?
Well, there's sort of this thing where she's pining for her, where Gloria is internally in love with her ex-wife. Mm-hmm. And so I don't want to give too much away,
That's
But I will say that they, it's this thing where what does it look like when you get what you want? And maybe you realize like, like maybe because she is, in some ways she has a lot in common with Summer's character, who was only with was only with Kev when she got married. And for Gloria, like she had, like we realized in episode 3, there's this whole thing about how like she is very like has only been with one woman, but she's been with a parade of men, but she's like, but they were not significant events. None of them even implanted. And then like a guy walks by, he's like, Gloria, and like she's like, did we spoil a kid? But it's like with women, I care. And so there's stories about her trying to like be like, okay, but have you dated anyone else besides Caroline? Is she the right one for you? And so we see that journey a little bit of this season. And very much like a two-hander with Summer's character being like, maybe you need to branch out a little bit before you know for sure.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Why was this show a story that you wanted to tell? Specifically centering for older women in a comedy. That's not the most common kind of story. So why was that a story y'all wanted to tell?
Well, I mean, like, I guess I'm an older woman, but I'm in my 40s, and it just felt like the kind of, maybe in a lazy way, I'm like, I'll write what I know, and all the experiences of being a woman in this stage in my life, and so I really wanted to write a show with. I liked the idea of writing a show where it was like female centered and everyone was hilarious. And I just kind of, I've seen some movies that way. I haven't seen a ton of, Golden Girls, but I haven't seen a ton of TV shows that are, have that kind of cast. So I was very interested in it. And I also really liked when I came up with the girl group idea, it was like, oh, that's so interesting because they were thrown together and they probably had a lot of like toxic, crappy experiences like so many of us did in the 90s. And when you, and being able to look back at when you came of age and what do you want to carry into the present? What do you want to do differently? It just felt super fertile. And there's so many funny, this cast is incredible, but there's also a lot of really, when I was going about making it, I was like, there's a lot of hilarious actresses out there that aren't getting a million jobs anymore. I don't know when you age out at like 28. So I was like, I'm not gonna have trouble casting, but this cast, I never in a million years thought I would get this level of talent. Like I thought going in, I was like, maybe one of them can sing. And then we've got, these powerhouse, incredible, women that can do it all. And they're so funny. So.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, they're a murderer's row of,
they really are.
'cause not only are they all fantastic actors and comedians and all that, but they, needless to say, they all can sing and deliver on a song like nobody's business and can help you even figure out how a song should go and how you should write it. And it's just always a pleasure. And I would say also that another reason we wanted to tell this story is too, I just knew it would be, it's a genre of music that it's worth looking at again when we were looking back at the 90s and the early 2000s. It was just a fun place to start writing songs again. So.
Which is seeing a really big resurgence right now too. 2000s and 90s nostalgia is very big, which makes me feel some type of way. But my last question, I guess we'll see but what has it been like working with Tina Fey on this as well? Like she's been in this game for a long time as well as y'all, but what has that relationship been like, and can we expect her back at all, if y'all can?
What'd you say? What was the last
if
thing?
we can expect her back in
on camera?
Yeah.
Dolly Parton. Well, Tina's the greatest. She's just like, she's there's like nothing she can't do. It's almost disgusting. She's but no, you know, it was a dream for me to get a job working for her and Robert on Kimmy Schmidt when I first got hired out of late night to work with them. And then it's an even bigger, crazy experience to be creating a show that they're producing with me. And just having them that they're like, to be able to go to them and say, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Or get their instincts on things is just so incredibly invaluable. And they're usually right. And they're geniuses. I don't know.
Yeah, Tina's great.
Last question.
Jeff knows her. Jeff knows her a little better.
No, she's good. She's great at the bounce when you need it, because she's so smart at so many things. And when your nose is in it, a little more like Meredith in mine to a degree, it's great to be able to just have some clarity, which she can offer up. Very good. And she's.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite moments of season 2? Any that jump out that you're maybe don't fully spoil, but that you're looking forward to people seeing?
I think there's a few, and they're not. This is a music one, but I will have to say there's a lovely song that they sing, the four of them, and I can't go into I don't want to go into the details about it, but you'll certainly know when it happens. But it was kind of heart-wrenching and very sweet to see the four of them singing it live, which we do a lot on set, and sometimes it's pre-recorded and sometimes it's not. But to see them sing this very, very lovely song about somebody that they loved, and then and everybody in the room feeling how beautiful and sweet and lovely that was, and that they could deliver on that. I think of that as a moment that we get all the funny ones and the breaking and the this and that and all these, but that was a particularly sentimental moment that I remember. Mm-hmm. Oh, you'll know it when it happens.
I'm excited. I think I'm out of time, but I really appreciate y'all's time today. Thank you so much for talking to me.